If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. J-Rock ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a double a verse. I do it before FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that chicken.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Rams and the Washington Redskins. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. A first down throw for Winston. It's caught here by Adams. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On play action, Winston. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So good field position for the Rams as they come up 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gomez. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
This will be the first red zone opportunity now for the Rams. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Rams are going to take a first quarter lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball at the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs because he can really impact this offense. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice and meetings talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up the score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the mind.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Detroit!
On play action, they'll throw. And this will be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now they'll pitch it back to Gurley. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it.
Detroit!
They'll try and throw for it here. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They're going to look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Peterson. He got 29 yards that time. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. He'll look to throw. That the 10-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. A very valuable 9-yard pickup, and now they're set up a little better here for 3rd and goal. Well, they've gotten it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Winston. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out. From the gun, Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. On the return is Peterson. And now Peterson, not exactly sure what happened there defensively, but he's still down. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Leopard! Gone!
Looking to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
A lot of receivers see the drag route as a risk-reward type of a play. The risk, going into the middle of the field where there's some big people who want to hit you. But the reward is oftentimes you get lost in coverage, running a little bit underneath. And when you catch it just right, as we just saw there, the end result can be a big, big play.
On 1st down, it's Gurley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
He'll drop to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Anthony Brown.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Sonic!
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
He's going to get it running right. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play.
And that's a major league loss of yardage and probably loss of momentum. You're snapping the ball to the 1-yard line before you suffer that big loss.
Yeah, you think of losing any yardage from the 1 is bad. To go that far back, that's a disaster.
And I think the play calling sequence that maybe the OC had in his head.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Well, they need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Gone!
They'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down again.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
And his kick is indeed good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let him get anywhere. It made him kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that was their third sack of the ball game. Second in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the second spot pretty soon. They'll run it now out of the gun. That'll be a gain of 16, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
The Redskins on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. Winston sneaking it, and they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Winston to throw it this time. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator? And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off right around the 43. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. He'll look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. In for the score. And the Rams add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Samson Abukum in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Now a second down throw for Winston. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The Redskins on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And Adams has it complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Final play of the half here. Winston going for the deep ball. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. The gap has widened there. The Packers have scored again. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They go play action here on first down. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down. Went backwards. It's third and very long. They'll set up a throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey. We got three. Even. Check. Go.
Working out of the gun. Winston. Over the middle, complete. That's Hodges. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Devontae Adams, his first touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. Jameis again. And he's got it for the two-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Back to throw here. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. On third down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. They get it to him running left. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This drive started with 1st and goal. Now that it's 4th and goal, anything less than a touchdown would feel like a letdown to me.
They come out here in the eye. Winston keeps it himself. Try to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He didn't. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And this Rams defense comes up with a goal line stand. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Here
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him, that full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball in the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out because of the knee injury in college. They're seeing the full Todd Gurley now, and it hurts.
They'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Fighting his, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Brandon Cooks, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams add on to their lead.
And this is what coaches talk about, never being satisfied. No matter what the lead, always trying to increase it. You never know what can happen in this NFL.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out now come the Redskins. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to...
And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 36. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Gone!
Back to throw. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Following the interception, Winston. He's letting this one go for Fuller. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 2nd down, Winston again. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 39. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
1st down, Winston. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Jameis to throw it. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team is playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Throwing, Winston. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hodges. Now the ball comes loose, and the Rams have got it back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Winston now after the fumble recovery. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And now look at him go. The 20, 10, 5, and he will bring it back. It's an interception returned for a Rams touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6, obviously costly.
but they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 22. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
Now back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gomez. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Rams on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they're going to go for this. Just 1 for 3 so far on 4th down tries. They're trying again.
Gone.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Sheldon Rankins breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Now, this is a nice little gift wrap situation as they take over 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they've met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. From the gun, Winston. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you're talking about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
And the hands team for the Rams able to secure the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. He'll look to throw. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Samson Abukum. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 3rd and long for Winston. Now in desperation. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 33. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8. The last time we saw 7, 2001, right? Yeah.
It's Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. That one looks like he'll throw here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Leopard!
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
They'll drop to throw. He's going to air one out, and that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 14. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Yeah, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to go up top again. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for L.A., their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Washington, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings.